tea is disgusting, and British people are wrong.
I mean,
They're cookies, not fucking biscuits.
I know, right? Get it right, Great British Bake Off.
You want a biscuit? Give me some gravy, some mashed potatoes.
I mean, it doesn't matter what they call it. All their things come out looking the same way anyway.
Dude, you know the nastiest biscuits are the pre-made frozen ones?
Yes. Ugh.
Like the Pillsbury ones, like you crack it out of that like explosive can.
Hell yeah.
Those are okay.
Those are lovely.
Like the frozen ones, with no flavor. You put your butter in there.
You should never freeze bread. It doesn't work. It's disgusting. You're a bad mother or father if you try to feed your kids those frozen ass biscuits.
Those religious breads, the ones that have Bible verses, Ezekiel's.
Oh yeah.
Those are terrible.
Those Jesus crackers.
It's a wafer, you ass.
It's just a vanilla ass wafer.
Yeah.
So
It's not a vanilla wafer. It's worse.
A vanilla wafer is way nicer. So welcome to Garbage Eggs, everybody.
Welcome back.
It's us. We're here on our 4th arc of Full Metal Alchemist. So we're winding down pretty here soon.
Yeah.
Let's dive into your notes because you have a lot of them.
Okay.
Your notes are getting more and more extensive.
I know, I went crazy with this one. But season 4 was way better.
Season 4 is a lot too.
It is.
Like I forgot how much actually gets done in this season.
Yeah. We go to a lot of different places.
We meet a
And
lot of
come
different
back.
people. Yeah.
So it starts with episode 39, Daydream.
New.
New intro,
Yes.
new outro.
Thoughts on the intro before we get started in the episodes themselves?
So here I say it's weird, but eventually I'll get used to it.
Did you?
Until it changes.
Yep.
You know, I did.
Huh.
But I have to tell you, where is it? The new end song is okay, but halfway the animation just stops in quality.
it's just like
It's a shot of Hohenheim,
and then a shot
like it's
of
made in the 90s.
it's like
And then a shot of his wife.
it's also like really basic animation.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you can tell they prioritized the budget into the actual show and the opening.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's a little disappointing.
besides those two shots, that music is awesome.
It's
And
a catchy song.
they know how to use it.
Yes.
Because in some of those episodes, like, what was that last one where Ed put on his jacket?
Yeah.
And then the music starts playing.
It's just they love.
And then just cut straight into that credits.
Or when like the train explodes and Grumman just starts laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
It just dives in. It's called an L cut when you do that. And I love them. And they really used it to its fullest potential here.
You want to explain what an L cut is?
An L cut is when you start playing the audio of something before you start showing the footage of it. So usually, lots of times you'll see it with like a character will say something, and then they stop, and then a character like in the distance will hear like the beginning of their sentence, and then we'll cut to them to like kind of transition us into whatever is happening over there.
Yeah.
But it works here to transition us into the outro as well.
And the visual, the L,
Yeah.
the lower part of the L that goes to the right, meaning when you're editing, you edit left to right.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll
There's
attach
another
itself.
version that's the other way around. That's the J cut.
Same principle, just going backwards.
Yep, just the other way around.
Oh, alchemy seems important. But it's taking too long to set it up.
They do take a long time. Like,
Now-
we met May, and she's using alchemy this entire time, and she doesn't bother explaining it. We met her in season 2. She's not bothering to try to explain it until like halfway season 4.
Yeah, when she starts using her... They're not katanas, they're...
Kunai?
Yeah, her kunai, and then she makes the circles out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important.
Alchemy seems important.
Next bullet point, Scar. Just kill him.
It's a good bullet point. I see you're in the same mindset as Ed.
Yeah. We know that's not the case.
Yes.
And he seems to be a good guy now?
Talking to Miles really changed him, I
Yeah.
think. Like, rather than go around killing everybody, wouldn't you rather prove them wrong that we're not killers?
Yeah.
We're not savages?
Exactly. And then next bullet point. No one seems to get that Kimley is just evil.
He does make it pretty obvious. I mean, I don't know.
He's dressed up in all white, like an old gangster from the 20s.
Yeah. Kimberly was a weird, like, element to the story.
Once you ask, if you fought in the war, where have you been this whole time, Mr. Alchemist? Crimson Alchemist?
Oh, I've been in prison for war crimes.
How did you get out?
That's Fuhrer, fuck you.
Got a pardon. After all that time.
Good behavior.
They keep saying wanton, Wanton murder.
Wanton murder, yeah.
And it just makes me think wonton murder. Where you had a buffet
Nom, nom, nom,
and
nom.
you're just pissing them off.
They do have a habit of every time, like, if they have a way of saying something, every single person will say it the exact same way.
Yeah.
And it does get a little tiresome.
What does wanton mean?
I think it means in excess, like excessive, or without a care.
A cruel or violent act.
Oh.
Deliberate or unevoked. Provoked.
Alright.
Okay.
Whatever.
Someone did their research.
Someone had a thesaurus sitting next to them.
Yeah. I just wanted to use this word like 20 times. And then I'll stop.
I hired it in my word of the day calendar,
Look,
and I'm excited.
I want to use this word.
Stupid.
Okay, episode 40. We're watching it on Hulu.
We are.
And I have Hulu with ads. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to point out how many fucking ads there are.
There are so many.
And this is to you, Hulu. So the episode will begin, and we get the theme,
Uh-huh.
and then, what, a minute and a half of ads.
Yes.
And then we'll get the intro, like, characters.
Yeah, like the beginning.
And they'll have, like, I don't know, 2 minutes of dialogue.
And back
or
to ads.
Maybe action. And then we get ads, and then after the ads, there'll be, like, episode 40.
Yeah.
You know.
And then we'll get
the
to that.
day is coming.
We'll get to that point where it's supposed to be. They do this in anime all the time because this is supposed to be the only time there's an ad break is when it's like Full Metal Alchemist and there's like a picture of someone. But what they do in Japan is that'll happen and then they cut to like their ad break and then it comes back and then they don't get another ad break until
it's over.
it gets back to that moment. So, fuck you. They're just shoving the ad breaks in every single fucking like 2 seconds.
Did you know that Carvana is the highest and fastest?
And you want to get progressive auto insurance? A lot of that.
I love those parent ads. Those are just great.
But we already have progressive. So.
I know. It's like, why are you talking to me? Yeah. That would just be a weird conversation to have in life. Okay, yeah, episode 40. That was a prequel episode.
That was.
Because it's about Slave 23.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're lucky. Yeah.
It's my lucky number, 23. Okay, ever since I watched that terrible movie in high school, The Number 23, starring Jim Carrey, where he's delusional.
Oh, yeah.
And he thinks that everything leads up to 23.
Uh-huh.
If you start playing around enough, you can get it to work for almost any number.
Fun facts.
Yeah, I know.
They're fun because you weren't expecting them.
Can't steal my quotes.
Stop having good quotes.
I hate when they fuse 3D animation with 2D animation.
It's Envy, isn't it? Envy's 3D.
Oh, she is, huh?
When
Or
she's
he
in...
is.
They. I like thinking of...
No, they call it him.
Well...
But, yeah, when she... Fuck.
You can call them she, if you want.
It really looks like a girl to me. Just a very masculine girl.
When Envy's in, like, monster form, they're a 3D model.
Yeah. I can see that now when it turns its head.
Yeah, but the thing is they use it really smart. Like, they don't over-rely on it.
Titan IE. Or AI. Titan.
Attack on Titan?
No. No, that old Titan 8. We just watched a video on it. It's like a horrible movie and it was a box office.
Oh, yeah.
It has Matt Damon in it.
Yeah.
Sinbad and
It was
Legend of Seven
It was a
Seas
Don
did
Bluth
that.
movie, and it was sad.
Pokemon, the first movie, did it.
They did. They did it for the doors.
Yeah.
Like the stairs.
And then,
No, what are you talking about? What 3D are you talking about? In the...
it's... Okay, so Slave 23 is Hohenheim.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a name
Uh-huh.
because he's a slave. and he's talking to the homunculus in the
The flask?
Yeah, the homunculus in the flask.
Yeah. They also call it the dwarf in the flask, which is the only instance of the word dwarf being used instead of homunculus, which was confusing. I wonder if it was a dubbing thing.
He called it the homunculus.
Yeah, because I think it's in the flask is such a big, like, that's a lot of lip flaps, so trying to fit something before that, they just went with dwarf because it would fit. Okay. I'm wondering if that's what they ended up doing.
Okay.
Is the homunculus the 3D thing you're talking about?
No, when he's in the room, he's in like a laboratory, right?
Yeah.
He's sitting there on the desk, he's talking to it, and you see an outside shot through the window, and the camera starts moving.
Oh.
And the window frame itself is CG.
It is.
While the two of them talking is not.
It is a weird moment for CG.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen it used like that anywhere else besides Envy.
What all Envy?
Yeah, von Hohenheim was tricked by the homunculus in the flask, and that's why him and Father look alike.
Yes.
Because it's the homunculus in the flask.
Mm-hmm.
Became father, and they're blood brothers.
Yeah. Because they...
That was a fun little twist. I was like, because I thought Hohenheim was the bad guy.
They do a great job misdirecting you with that. It's a great red herring. Because even like when you see its father, and you're like, I'm pretty sure Father and Hohenheim aren't the same person.
I thought it was weird that Father had like long hair and a big beard.
Yeah.
And also he has a presence.
And they have different voice actors. It's very slight, but they do have different voice actors.
Alright. And then, yeah. Hohenheim is a human philosopher's stone.
He is. Which...
is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I was not expecting that.
That was a good, like, backstory.
Because Pinocchio talks about how he hasn't aged at all since she met him.
Yeah.
And,
that's a small detail you'll overlook.
And I'm just like, but I caught it, and I'm like, what does that mean? Why?
He's immortal.
It's easy, because immortality is so associated with our bad guys, it's easy to assume he's a bad guy because of that.
He gave him immortality because he only had that opportunity because of Hohenheim, right?
Yeah.
And he also wanted a flesh body.
Yes. I think it was less he wanted to give Hohenheim immortality. I think it was more he wanted to give himself immortality. And he needed Hohenheim to do it. So, I don't remember who... I don't think it was an act of kindness on the homunculus's part. Or if it was
But they're not all evil.
They're not. We saw a lot this season how they all have a somewhat human side.
Yeah. Even greed.
Even greed.
Greedling.
Greedling.
We'll get to that. Okay, episode 41, The Abyss. Ad break.
Yep.
We get to Briggs.
Yeah.
Briggs, the fortress, the wall fortress. God, I did not see Jon Snow there, which was kind of weird.
It was a little weird.
Was he, like, in the back cleaning something?
What's going on? He's off training with Sam.
Bad joke, sorry guys.
We're definitely the first person to make a joke like that.
I'm clever.
Hey, get it like this.
Yeah, immortal people known as the Golden People, which is a kind of funny thing because alchemy in history, real history, was the science to change matter into gold.
Yeah, it was always gold that they wanted.
Yeah, they just wanted to possess gold.
I
thought that was clever that she wrote that.
I like that a lot. She clearly studied endlessly to get this story going. Like alchemy and a lot of different other things. Like just like the chemical makeup of things.
Yeah, the homunculus is Greek?
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't think alchemy becomes a thing till the Dark Ages.
I think so?
I could be wrong.
Who knows? I also like that it's the gold thing because it's the Emestrians had, or rather the original Xerxes people, they had gold hair and gold eyes, like Hohenheim and Ed and Al has, and they're the only ones anymore. Because that's something I noticed right away was,
whoa,
they talk about the Emestrians having blonde hair and blue eyes, but Ed standing next to Winry has distinctly different hair color than her.
Yeah, he's the golden man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should have been a dead giveaway for anyone who knew anything about alchemy.
Yes.
Which, I'm guessing, Bradley?
Yeah, the Fuhrer.
Yeah, he would have known that right away.
Maybe.
Not only that, I mean, it's technically his son. That's something they're going to have to really answer. Because it's kind of mentioned that they are all connected.
They call each other, like, brother, though. Not like... They only call father their father.
Is that why it's called Brotherhood? I always thought it was about Ed and Al. But they're all connected.
It might... I never questioned it. You might be... Either option, I think, could be correct. Or both at the same time.
Okay. And then I noticed Ed takes that nasty fall in the mine shaft with the rod right there.
Oh, I thought he was done for. I was on the edge of my seat. When I first saw that, my heart was exploding on my chest.
It was pretty bad. And then Al takes a fall, too.
He does.
And he starts losing himself. And he keeps fading in and out throughout the season.
Because they mentioned earlier, it was Barry the Chopper, like, you can bind the soul to anything, but eventually it's not going to hold up. Like, the soul can't be in something that it wasn't meant to be in.
Yeah.
And it's happening with Al.
And then, because Ed takes that fall fighting the Chimeras, and Kimberly was trying to kill everybody in that one.
Yeah, Kimberly, like, because Ed used a smoke bomb to ward off the Chimeras, because they have more intense smell. Yeah. So he used a smoke bomb, and then Kimberly just destroyed the mine shaft and got his Chimeras in the blast, and they're like, fuck him. Fuck that bitch.
So they help him survive and carry him off to a doctor.
Do you remember something? I just remembered something. Do you remember something that happened when they were carrying Ed out of the mine shaft? It was something Heinkel picked up in the mine shaft. But hasn't been brought up since.
Oh god, he does have... And he's not... Ooh. Bring that up at the end.
I'll bring it back up.
Because I'm going to bring up something about Heinkel.
If you guys can't remember, this is going to be an amazing surprise for you.
Yeah, I totally forgot that he had that.
Because I thought, I was like, I need to remember this. Because this is important.
Why wouldn't he have used that in the forest?
Because he doesn't know how.
But he's beating the shit out of fucking Pride.
He's probably also like, no, we'll get there. We'll get there at the end.
Jesus. That would have been a great time. Okay, episode 42, Signs of a Signs of a Counter-Offense. These Japanese titles suck.
They're so long.
They are.
They're all like a band name.
From the emo era?
Yeah.
Scar's Brothers' book is kind of an elaborate puzzle. He spent that much time building this. And what I mean is...
Yeah.
You have to destroy the book and then connect the dots.
And then flip it back around.
Flip the entire thing around, and then you'll get the Alka history reverse.
And once you flip it around, you have to draw on the notes to, like, see...
Yeah. So the notes itself.
So he must have been like this hyper-intelligent genius to piece all that.
Fucking madman.
Maybe.
And I remember he was not running off to the front line in the Ishvalan War.
No.
Until he finished his book.
Yeah, he was gathering all of his notes he could before, and then right after that.
That's what he was doing. So millions of people dying because Kimberly is just a evil.
Yeah.
No one seems to notice
just
this.
The evil. He's like the most evil thing other than the homunculi.
Yeah. I would say he's even eviler.
Maybe. Because he's just doing it for fun.
He's over here putting together a puzzle book?
You know, people have their hobbies.
Okay.
He expected Scar to figure that out. Scar's kind of smart, but he's not that smart.
Yeah. Pride. His appearance.
Yes.
He looks like the homunculus in the flask.
He does.
And it's because Father made him look like himself Out of pride.
Out of pride, yeah.
I thought that was cute.
It's always, I think all of them have something like that. Like, they mentioned with Gluttony that he was a failed doorway into truth land. There's gotta be a better way of wording that. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, that 80s movie, Truthland.
He was supposed to be a doorway into truth, but it got fucked up. And, like, you could make the argument, like, that was his hunger for power, or to skip to the end, like, hungry to get it done, that ended up making Gluttony. But, who knows? I think they all have something like that, but I don't remember.
Alright. And then there was always talk about, Ugh, I'm tired, guys.
It is, 10 o'clock at night. Fun fact.
Yeah, I'm getting old. Dragma finally shows up.
Yeah.
At the Briggs Fort.
Very, very Russian themed, I think.
Yeah.
So, they mean business.
Yeah. And we finally get a little war. Episode 43, Bite of the Ant.
Ant?
Not the snake.
Boot.
Do you get it now?
Watch Avengers.
Oh, Greed shows up way too fast. He appears out of nowhere. And no one knows where he's been. And he does it again towards the end, where he runs away from them in that forest fight, and then all of a sudden he's at Central. Mm-hmm. He's really fast.
And I think it would, just like a transition shot of him running away would work.
They show him when he's having his inner thoughts, but in here, he just appears.
Yeah. Where was he appearing at? Was he in the sewers?
He was appearing in the episode Bite of the Ant.
What was happening during the scene? Was it when he was chasing Beto down in the sewers?
You know, I don't know, but it's the fight of Marco and Envy. Yeah, I should put more context in that.
Oh,
anyways,
well.
That fight in the snow.
That was a great fight.
You know, the one with Alka history?
That
no one seems to notice.
I think Alka history's gonna be important. Hey, this Princess Peach lady. Do you think she'll be a recurring character?
Yeah.
That was a great fight.
It was fun. And then Envy shoots out that nasty talk.
Yeah.
Wraps around him. And, like, starts crushing him.
Mm-hmm.
People are trying to ward Envy off. And then finally Marco just, like, did something.
He's like deconstructing the Philosopher's Stone. Because he knows the alchemy that went into making it. So in theory he knows how to deconstruct it also. I don't know. I don't remember.
It wasn't well explained.
It wasn't, but it was such a fun fight, I wasn't willing to argue.
I was like, Envy has to die, right?
We see Envy's true form.
That's an interesting form.
Which you think the big green monster is the true form. It's not. Surprise.
It's a caterpillar.
It's a little grotesque tadpole, as Yoki calls it.
Yeah. Oh, and when Envy's dying, before it reverts back, she reminded me of a Resident Evil monster.
It does. Like, a lot. Like that opening the mouth and twisting back and another head pops out.
Yeah, and then another one comes out, and then another one comes out, and you're like, oh my god. How many of you are there?
Yeah.
Like Pride, sometimes he looks like a Ouroboros from Resident Evil 5. They're just like giant tentacles moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? And then at the end, it's revealed alchemists aren't allowed to make people because they can make their own army.
Yeah.
Which is the army of the immortal.
Which they have. Which is fucking creepy.
Yeah,
like,
that eye.
Like, even before they're turned on, that thought alone is creepy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that they made them look human. Like, if you could make an immortal army, I would not choose the shape of a human.
I choose ninja-looking guys with golden masks to fight Spartans.
Boo. Boo.
It's a fun movie. It's not very historically accurate.
No, it's not.
Could have helped him if he read a book. Or two.
Just a couple.
Episode 44. So again, why did they make two shows of the same name?
Full Metal Alchemist and then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Yeah, with almost the same team.
What do you mean?
So, later on, I found out who Mike McFarlane is.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the voice actors?
Voice actors and the producing company.
Well, because they made it, and then, that happened. And then do it again. Why not bring all the characters back? Like, wouldn't you want the original voice of Zorro to still voice Zorro if they, like, rebooted the series or something? No one can see your shrug.
I don't give a fuck.
I think it's just, like, also, they're all employees at Funimation. And Funimation was the one who dubbed both of them. So get your employees to do it again.
Hey guys, you want to redo what you did? Because you sucked at the first time. If you don't succeed, go back and redo it.
Yep. Maybe wait for it to be finished before you start making it.
How bad is the original series?
We can talk about that in the full review.
Okay.
I'll write down some notes so we can talk about that in the full review. Because I don't want to, like, spoil anything.
Okay.
But
they
it's,
just left Ed out halfway through?
It's bad. It's very bad.
Al loves his dad.
He does.
Ed hates him.
He does.
It's an interesting combination.
Well, Al was a little too young. He never really got to meet his dad. So I think he was just happy to see him. Like, actually just be there. Ed was...
Also, Ed met him in the second season.
He did.
And they did not have a good conversation.
No. I mean, also, in Ed's mind, he abandoned his wife. And then she just died without him.
He did.
So, yeah.
He did.
He had a reason for it, and she knew about it. I think Ed just misconstrued it that he was just selfish and didn't care about them.
He made a reason. Who the fuck is Bito?
You don't remember Bito?
Bito, whatever.
You don't remember Bito?
It wasn't until Greed started having those flashbacks.
I didn't expect you to remember him.
Because I was like, oh, dude, that was like season 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's like such a meaningless character.
Especially because of Greed's Chimera, he's the one we see the least of.
It's like that Dragon Ball character, the short, fat guy with the katana.
Oh, Yajirobe.
And then, like, you'll see promo art, and he'll be on it, and you're like...
And you're like, who's that motherfucker? And then, like, Purin is there.
Yeah. And you're like, what? I don't remember them in the fight against Cell.
Oh, man, Turtle. He's our hero.
And then, Greed finally comes back, struggling with Ling inside.
Ugh,
that was fun.
That scene is so good. It's one of my favorite, like, vocal performances of anime. Is Ling just yelling, "You don't deserve to be called Greed." It's so good. I love it.
I like Greed's voice actor.
Troy Baker? He is really good.
I mean, he's only the best.
He's only, like, world renowned. Yeah. He's in literally everything.
But Ling does good to spar with him. Okay, episode 45. The Promised Day.
Yep.
I called it. I said that earlier. If you go back, you can hear it.
Yep. I like it. This is about this time is when during all the like end slates like next time on Full Metal Alchemist.
The day is coming.
So the end times are soon. It's like you say this like 12 episodes before the end times actually start becoming soon. Like cool your jets a little bit.
Yeah, we start out with 2 good fights.
Yes. 2 really great fights.
Greed, who's pissed at Raph.
Yeah.
Breaks into his house and just tries to kill him.
That animation looks so great during that fight.
Greed, being stupid, doesn't even see what else is in that room.
Yeah.
His bride is there.
He's so like laser focused. He's also Greed isn't using his shield to cover his face.
Yeah.
He's not. Maybe it's like a weakness thing. Like he doesn't have it all figured out just yet because he's just still a new homunculus.
Yeah, he only covered his neck at the last moment.
He could do his arms and his neck so far. But he only just figured out how to do his neck.
And then we got the Armstrong family.
Oh!
Kind of funny.
Oh my god.
Especially how the parents were like, we're dipping.
Okay, let's get out of here. And they're like, it's when they're like walking past the fountain. They're like, we should get them a gift while we're off in Shing. Wouldn't that be lovely? And then Alex just flies into a fucking fountain.
begging for it to stop.
I love all of the Armstrongs. They're all my favorites.
And then,
there's two sisters we didn't see. We've seen them before in like a brief flashback with Yoki. I think it was last season. But they're like as big as Alex and like as muscly as Alex, and they have like kind of manly faces, but they have like kind of curly looking hair.
okay.
He's the only boy of the family.
Greed changed back into Ling, which was awesome.
Yes.
So the duality of that character. And then they're aware of each other.
Yeah, they're talking to each other.
And you know it's Ling because his eyes are closed. You know it's Greed because he opens his eyes.
Ling will open his eyes sometimes, but it's always like very, very slightly.
Yeah.
And usually his eyes used to be black. I don't know if it still does that when Ling takes over. But yeah, it's an easy way to figure out which one you're talking to.
Also the voice actor.
That'll help.
One commands the room, the other one just sounds okay.
Don't make fun of Todd Havercorn. He's amazing.
Okay. Greed's going to join them. Greedling. Ed and his stupid jokes.
It comes up with nicknames for all of them. Like I mentioned while we were watching, but in the show he calls them Gorilla and Lion.
Yeah.
Mr. Gorilla and Mr. Lion. Apparently, in the Japanese version, he calls them Donkey Kong and Lion King. And then he has Greeling, so he's just making, like, stupid nicknames up for everybody.
Yeah. Then my last note is Roy gets that note. Oh my god, he's going to join the fight. Because Roy hasn't been there for a while.
He was pretty absent for most of this season. We got a lot of characters introduced this season.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all four of the the chimeras.
Yeah.
And just like, Hohenheim got a lot of screen time. We went back to Lior and met those characters again.
And then there's a huge time skip.
There is. I didn't remember that, and I don't know why they did it that way.
Yeah, they don't tell you.
They basically...
There's a lot of time skips in it.
There is. Like, it's like a month or two.
Episode 46, there's a time skip because Whitney is returned home by the officers from Briggs.
Uh-huh.
And she's about to take off her clothes and sees that Ed's sitting in the room eating a sandwich.
I think you're just tired, you're not paying attention. It's like, what the fuck?
All of Ed's new team, Greed, and the two chimeras.
Yeah.
And then the soldiers from Briggs.
And her dog.
Yeah. And her grandma.
Yep.
They're all there, and it's like, whoa, what happened here?
That one's a weird episode because it's a lot of, like, catching up.
Yeah. And Ed looks way older. And he's taller.
He's taller than Winry now. And he's fucking muscly, too.
Yeah.
Him and Greed got, like, some muscle on them. Like, during that time skip.
Yeah.
It's... these, like, next couple of episodes... Like, I think... Was it on 47?
46.
46 and 47, I think. It's a lot of, like... That wailing is the sound of the train in the distance. It's a lot of characters being like, whoa, Hohenheim, nice to meet you. Oh, there's something I need to tell you. And then there's like a little like transition piece. It's like, whoa, I can't believe it. It's like we have to do that with every single character anytime they meet back up with each other. I'm like, I get it. You're all very amazed.
And then, yeah, like you said, a lot of catching up to do. And the only eventful thing that really happens is at the end when Al is struggling again.
Yeah.
With his armor. And then Pride and Gluttony show up and capture him.
Yeah, which was crazy.
Yes, the tricking of Bradley.
Ooh.
It was so good.
Ooh, because I was like, it's fucked. They're fucked. Everything's fucked.
Because Bradley's sitting there in his tower, and his sergeant or commander or whatever comes up, and he's like, it's about Goodling?
Grumman?
Grumman.
General Grumman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how he's creating a coup, and Bradley's like, yeah, I know this. And he's like, but he's not going to create the coup because he's going to do this other thing.
This whole convoluted thing.
And he's like, thanks for telling me. Gets on the train, and then the tracks blow up.
Nope, Grumman just wants to blow your ass up. Nothing nearly as witty as you thought.
Just got you. Like, you thought one thing, then you were told another thing, and what really happened was you got your ass blown up. Which was awesome.
I like Grumman.
Episode 47, Ed reunites with Hohenheim.
Yep. Fucking decks him.
Ed tells him what the last words of his mom was.
Yes. Yeah, he starts to see that Hohenheim isn't that evil, abandoning dad that he had always pictured him as. Like, he even says, like, no, the thing that I'm mad about is he's just not what I was expecting him to be. And I think he's realizing he doesn't really have the excuse to be mad anymore.
And then, the whole thing, Hohenheim wanted to die before everyone else. He wanted to end this thing.
I mean, no one really wants to be mortal. Like, it sounds neat, but then moments like, everyone's dying around me. And it sucks to watch everyone you love die around you.
Yeah. Pride lives inside Al. That's not true.
No, but...
Pride can wrap itself within him.
Yeah.
And when it opens its eyes inside his armor, it's fucking creepy.
It was crazy.
Like, the right eye had 3 eyes in it.
Yeah.
And the left eye just has a normal...
But then you see, like, in the other shadows of his armor...
Within the...
It's just really clever to do it that way.
We find out Pride's weakness.
The light or the dark.
The darkness, yep. And then the gorilla guy, the Chimera...
Yeah.
Went to go beat up Gluttony. And...
Because it's dark. None of them can
he,
see.
He takes like 2 giant, massive hits. He beats the crap out of Gluttony and he goes, for the final one. And just comes in and just clocks
Just
Ed.
right in the middle of it. And just, why, Mr. Gorilla? I forgot. It's so fucking funny. It's probably like one of their best landed jokes so far. But yeah, and then Heinkel goes off to fight Pride, try to beat up his little boy body.
Again, why didn't he use that little trinket?
Should we address it now?
No, because we will get to him.
Okay.
I didn't write anything about that, except for at the end. Lon Fan shows up with her new male arm.
She does! And of course she has her elbows like a knife. So
yeah, it looks
like,
pretty cool.
Pretty badass.
She looks like she came out of Ninja Gaiden.
Yes, she does. I like that her arm is the opposite of Ed's.
Yeah.
So, it's just fun.
And then, at the end of these end credits, we see a big hand and a little hand. And they're, like, kind of holding each other.
They, hold each other's hand, but, like, in the most awkward way possible.
Yeah, and then it just shines this bright light and fades out.
Yeah. I think it's Hohenheim and Trisha.
That's what I think so, too.
I think... I don't think they explain it ever.
Yeah, it's just a cool shot.
Yeah.
Episode 48.
A really good episode.
We're still fighting in the forest.
These last couple episodes, like, they're really going all out.
Yeah. Good fight. The guys almost won until Pride ate Gluttony.
Yeah. What an ironic death.
Can Father make another Gluttony, or is that the end of that?
I don't know, because he ate him.
I mean, I don't know if we have much time left.
Yeah, that too.
The series for him to do anything like that.
Like, just make another...
Unless Father kills Pride.
I don't know. It's fucked up, because, like, that's me. Pride must have felt an emotion other than just pride if he wanted to eat Gluttony.
Yeah, he started smacking his lips.
Yeah. Like, he was showing signs of Gluttony before he had even consumed him. So it's interesting.
Pride's eyes change color in the next episode, 49.
Yeah. I wonder if it was just
they went to purple.
Like, I wonder if it was just, like, if...
So you know which version it is?
If Gluttony... Because it's... Yeah, like, Pride Prime or Pride Gluttony together. Yeah. Basically. I wonder if Gluttony had, like, normal-looking eyes. Would have his eyes been of purple, and that's why? Or something? I don't know.
Al makes the sacrifice, and Hohenheim builds that fortress around them.
He puts them in a giant, like, dirt orange.
It's a giant dome they're stuck inside. Which was a clever way to stop him.
Very intelligent. Very smart. I never in a million years would have thought of it.
And then, in that episode, they used the outro music as epic as possible. That's when Ed puts on the red jacket.
And he hasn't worn that red jacket in a while.
Yeah,
like
he made a point that he would get it back.
He had like a snow variant in Briggs, but
his Santa suit?
Yeah. Just the red jacket. He hasn't had that for a while. He keeps getting like beaten up and just wearing a black jacket or something. Or not wearing a jacket.
And then episode 50, the last episode of the season. Till the finale.
Yeah.
And then Roy and his team didn't steal the wife, they're protecting her.
Yep.
That's a fun twist.
I thought they were going to try to use her as collateral for something. But then we find out that
they're way more smarter.
the military they don't care about her.
Yeah. Interesting, Roy and his team aren't killing them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just disabling them, maiming them, really.
I wonder if there's a lot that I don't remember from this point forward. I wonder if it's because they've been doing these like massacres on the points of the gigantic transmutation circle they're making. I wonder if they don't want too much blood in Central to like finish what it is.
Carnage will come.
Yeah.
They threatened the threats to Olivia Armstrong is fucking stupid. It was.
It's like threatening a demon.
She stabbed one through the arm so he couldn't shoot her.
And then she just shot
picked up the gun
other
and
one.
shot the other commander in the head.
Like, she's a badass.
Oh, yeah.
She is a badass. She's amazing.
While Roy's not trying to kill people, she's offing people. Roy's faction and Briggs' platoon are squeezing them in the city.
Yeah.
While they're trying to keep control, they're gonna lose this fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the shit's hitting all the fans.
And then Havoc and Maria come back.
It was amazing. I didn't expect everyone to come back.
I really thought it was the guy who died in the telephone booth.
You thought it was Hughes?
That would have been just so cool.
It
would have been emotional.
It would have been too emotional. That's the thing. Like, I don't think I could have, like, emotionally handled it.
Because Roy killed Lust for that.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed a homunculi.
Yeah.
Or a homunculus. It took 4 seasons to get that reunion.
Yeah, for Havoc. Well, Havoc was in the hospital for, even, like, at the beginning of season 4.
Yeah.
He was still in the hospital.
And then he mentions he's leaving to go east.
East to work at his family's general goods store.
Yeah.
Like, he talks about it.
And then Alex Armstrong seems to be on the wrong side.
I don't think it's that, because he's talked to Ed and Al, and I think the thing is because Olivier was pretending to be on the bad guy's side, but I don't think she ever told him that. I think he's worried his sister is a bad guy.
And that's when he receives news that she killed the general.
Yeah, so I think he's assuming she's on the wrong side.
Yeah. And then, to make matters worse, because you already got Roy's faction and the Briggs platoon coming in.
Yeah.
You got Ed's team coming in.
They're gonna be like 3 chimeras, 3 Izamoth out there, 3 amazing alchemists.
It's all one full circle.
Yep.
They're all showing up. And then, okay, here we go. Heinkel? The 4th Chimera doesn't show up because he got hurt in the fight with Pride.
Yes.
His arm was destroyed. Plot hole. But they're saving him for later. Now, the thing that he found in the mines that we were talking about earlier was...
it was Kimberly's Philosopher's Stone.
He had 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it was his original one.
Mm-hmm.
So he still has that.
He has it, but he's not an alchemist. So even with the stone, he can't do anything with it.
Give it to Ed.
He probably didn't think about it. He probably didn't even remember. That or he was worried, like, Ed might do something crazy with it.
I bet it's going to come up later.
I mean, he didn't pick it up for nothing. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a gigantic Chekhov's gun. If he didn't do something with it.
Yeah. Unless there's supposed to be a sequel series.
It's just so smart that he picks it up very obviously in front of everyone. Like, you see it. He's like, I found this. It's Kimberly's Philosopher's Stone. And then after that, they never once talk about it again. Yeah. Him and the girl both know about it and remember. Ed just was passed out and couldn't remember.
Yeah. And then at the end, the Central Army wakes up the Immortal Army.
Yeah.
And that's when we see them.
Which I didn't remember about these things.
And their god-awful scream and their center eyeball.
They're freaky. They're fucking freaky.
We get to see them in action.
A little bit.
Next time on Full Metal Alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
More ads and bad storytelling.
So season 4.
Oh, I also wrote, them fucked.
Them fucked. I guess it's a good summary.
Here we go, all 8 pages. 4 was probably the best.
Yeah. It just ties everything together so well.
Yeah. Now, we have a lot of characters.
We have a lot of characters.
And this war, the Day of Reckoning? Or the...
I think it's the Day of Reckoning.
And...
So there's a solar eclipse.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are going to die in this thing.
We've had a couple of, like, major character deaths, but now it's like, we're in our last season. And I told you, this is one episode, one day. This last season is the fight that happens within one day.
Yeah.
So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be so intense, and I'm so excited.
I think Al dies.
Trapped with Pride.
Well, they're going to get out.
Did you catch what Pride was doing?
The knocking?
Yeah, did you catch what it was?
Was it Morse code?
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of characters are going to die. It's going to be fun. It's what, 12 episodes?
Yes.
It's all in one day.
One day.
So each episode's going to have to focus on a different character.
I know, there's so many fucking characters. And a lot I don't remember what happens to. Like, there's a couple of, like, really big ones that I remember. But there's a lot I don't remember.
Okay.
Because, like, I didn't remember the Immortal Army at all. So we got to that part and I was like, what the fuck?
That's going to change the game. And, the little girl has Envy.
She does.
And she's in the city.
She took Envy down into... She's trying to get to Father.
Yep.
Because that's going to be an interesting element.
It will be. Pause.
Is there more?
No, that's a spider.
Clapped him to death.
Didn't even recognize that species. I hate when that happens. This is like, oh god, is this a good idea?
So is there anything else you want to say?
No, I just can't wait to watch the next part of it, the finale.
Wrap it all up?
Yeah, and then hopefully I won't be so tired when we do this.
Yeah, maybe we'll record sooner than 10 o'clock at night next time.
Season 4 kind of dragged on. I mean, at a point I was like, it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a lot happened. I think this might have been a longer, like, episode-wise. Like, it feels that way, but I also know last time was the same amount of episodes.
Yeah. It took us 2 days to get through it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be very exciting.
So, yeah.
Thank you for watching Garbage Eggs.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on anything.
Yeah. Reach out. Comment in the C tab.
Yep. I don't think we have a C tab.
Thought every single one of them has a C tab.
I don't know. I haven't explored it too much.
I'll start creating them as I release them.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But, yeah, you guys have a good time. Hope you enjoyed.
See you in the next one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap up Full Metal Alchemist. Woo.
Yep. Okay. Bye.
Bye.